Boss ladies and inspiring entrepreneurs, welcome back to Boss Lady Diaries. Today I want to take you on a journey, my journey from side hustle to full-time CEO. Let's rewind. I was working a 9-to-5 and I noticed a gap in medical billing and case management industry. I saw how confusing and frustrating it could be for patients and providers. I knew I could make a difference. So I started offering my services on the side. Now, it wasn't glamorous. I was working from my kitchen table, juggling my day job, and learning everything as I went. I faced a lot of challenges. There were times when I doubted myself, times when I thought, is this even possible? But I kept going. And I realized I had to make a choice. Was I going to stay comfortable, or was I going to take a leap of faith? But I didn't just quit my job full time. See, in order for a business to grow, it needs fuel. But you also need funding. So I took the step of quitting my full-time job and I started working part-time as a senior bookkeeper. And I did that for about a year. Once I generated enough income and clients and saw that I was making steady income and, things were steady, and I said, okay, if I'm going to make this leap of faith, I'm going to make it now. But it wasn't easy. There were many ups and downs. But one thing, I never looked back. Now, I want to share some advice for aspiring entrepreneurs. First, start small, but start now. You don't need a perfect plan or a huge investment. Just start taking action. 2, embrace failure. It's part of the process. Learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward. 3, build a support system. Find mentors, connect with other entrepreneurs, and surround yourself with people who believe in you. And finally, believe in your vision. There will be doubters, but you have to trust your gut and stay focused on your goals. Hey loves, okay, so now let's get to your questions. I asked you guys on YouTube what you wanted to know about my entrepreneurial journey, and here are some of the best. But before we get into those questions, I want to do a shout out to a special love that commented on the community post. And the shout out goes to Sound Mind 3. She writes, I had to find it, sorry. Does your medical billing business take up much of your time from 9 to 5, 9 to 3, or 9 to 3? No, it doesn't take up a lot of my time, and that's just years of fine-tuning time management. And if you guys, fine-tuning my time management, right? My typical day is from 9 to 4 most days. If I'm doing a big project, I will start work around 8, but that's if it's a big project and we have to all boots on deck. It is going to be a long day. I do start the day earlier, but it's typically 9 to 4, Monday through Thursday. Fridays are off. and my team's off on Friday too. So we don't work on Fridays. We have a 4-day work week. I've started the 4-day work week about a year now. 2024 is when I started officially. No, I would say 2 years. So 2023 is when I started the 4-day work week. I was just getting burnt out, and I strongly encourage you to, if you can't afford a day off right now, you're in the boots, you're boots on the ground, you're in the thick of it, you're really working to get your business up. You probably can't afford to take a whole day off in a week, but carve out some time for yourself. Be in an hour, even if it's just lunch, and you take a walk, clear your mind, like detach from your business, because it can be all consuming. And I was there. I was working crazy hours, all kind of hours, and just burnt out. And I'm also a mom and a sister and a daughter and a girlfriend, and it just became too much. And I was a member of the church and, a choir. I volunteered in the church, I should say. And it was just too much. So you do have to take stock and, carve out the things that are important to you and make sure that you do those things, right? So yeah, shout out to Song Mind 3. Again, if you have questions, please put them in the chat in the video. But let's get into the questions. So the first one is, how did you know when it was the right time to quit your day job? That's a great question. It was when my side hustle was consistently generating enough income to pay the bills. That's when I was like, okay. But then I was wrestling with, should I keep my part-time job and my business? But to be honest, I had to put a sound plan in place, right? I had to map out my expenses for the month and make sure that I'm generating enough income to cover those expenses. What happens when I don't have enough to cover those expenses? Do I have money, or do I have a loan that I can draw from in the interim? So keep in mind all those things when you're, if you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, or if you are an entrepreneur and you're struggling with that, there are other sources you can draw on. For me, it was my credit cards until I was able to get a business loan and generate credit cards on my business and things like that. So, but I knew if I ever had a catastrophic issue, I could at least draw some type of revenue, or at least keep me afloat for a while, because things happen. So you have to think about those things. And I felt like it was that time to step away. I was at it for a year, and I was, I had my first client, then I had my second client, and I was generating, I think at that point I was generating more income than I ever generated as a full-time employee working in corporate. Then I knew, this is something different. I think I got something here, right? And I'm a religious, I wouldn't say religious. I'm very spiritual, and I seek God first in all that I do. I pray about it. I prayed about it. I met with my best friends were prayers too, and they prayed with me, and my family prayed about it. And I asked God, is this the right time? And I felt led through him that it was the right time to completely leave my, at that point, part-time job and focus solely on my business. So let's see. Question number 2. What was your biggest fear when you started your business, and how did you overcome it? My biggest fear was failure, and it still is one of my fears. Is failure, of course. I did overcome it by focusing on why. I reminded myself why I started this business in the first place, and I told myself that if I failed, I would learn from the experience. And that's all you can really do. It's never finite. Business is never finite. Don't go into this thinking that it's gonna be it's gonna be great and it's gonna be an awesome business. Business can go up, it could go down and go sideways, it can go upside down, all different ways, right? But even if I fail, even if it doesn't work out, I pray it doesn't. I pray that I continue continue going up with a trajectory and growing and learning. But my thing is learning from it, because I will start another one again. We will start again if we have to, right? So, yeah. Question number 3. How did you find your first clients? Ooh, networking. I can't say it enough. Network. I attended industry events. I reached out to my professional friends that are currently in the industry that I'm in. And that means like past managers, past directors that I've worked with, and they would still ask me questions and about billing. I reached out to them. I reached out to every contact I had in my book. And my first client was from my network. Yes, my first client was from my network. I reached out to her and let her know, hey, I'm in business as a medical billing company and a consultant, and if you have any clients that you ever come across that hey, need services, need a good billing services, me, my work, my work ethic, how I roll. And sure enough, she referred someone, and the rest is history. And they're still my client today. Gosh, that was 5 years ago. Dang, okay, that's it. Those were some really great questions, y'all. I hope my answers were helpful and a reminder that your journey will be unique. It'll be your own unique journey and one that you cultivate. So don't compare yourself to others. Don't compare yourself to me. Just keep learning, growing, and moving forward. Well, I hope my story inspires you all to keep going and chase your dreams. If you're thinking about starting your own business, just go for it. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So again, make sure you're following me on all social medias, and like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss another one of these Boss Lady vlogs. And leave your own entrepreneurial questions. So if you're a boss lady and you're thinking about getting into business or becoming an entrepreneur, or you're an entrepreneur, go ahead and leave your comments down below and underneath the video, and let's start a conversation. And I challenge you to give me some topics. What do you want to see in the next Boss Lady vlogs? Until next time.